Shit's bright. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. And I know it's been a minute. It's been a minute since you saw this car. It's been a minute since you saw me driving the car. So, the car's back. And unfortunately, the RB's not in here anymore. So, let me tell you what actually happened. I don't know if you guys remember, last year I had an oil starvation on my car. So what I ended up doing was that I replaced the cylinder head. So long story short, I had oil starvation. I replaced the cylinder head with the second, cylinder head. And I found out what's going on, so I fixed that. So a few months after, I've been driving the car, and I was like, car's healthy, drives really good. And then this one time, this is before January 1st, okay? So probably like around December 20, like maybe after Christmas, my car started making like a ticking sound. I'll make a ticking sound when you first start it, and then it'll go away. And then what's weird was that every time I drive it for a few hours or a few minutes, and then after I park, do something, and then start the car again, the ticking sound will still be there, and it won't go away for after like 5 minutes. So I said, what the heck is going on? I looked it up in the forum, and they're saying it might be my hydraulic lifters. And I was like, okay, well, my hydraulic lifters used. Just hear me out. Just don't mind my air. So I looked at the forums, and they were saying like, oh, maybe your hydraulic lifters are bad, or it's you gotta bleed your hydraulic lifters here and there. So. And I was like, alright, cool. I just ignored it. And then New Year. It was New Year. My neighbor started his car and started revving it. And I was like, hold on, let me do the same thing in my car. So I started the car, started revving it. I even drove around the block, and I was just like redlining for like good maybe 3 minutes. And then after I parked the car, it's making this small ticking sound. Like I was like, oh fuck, it's hydraulic lifters. I was like, that's not good. So the next day, which is January 2nd, I believe that's a Thursday or Friday, some shit like that. But I remember it was my friend's getaway party. Not getaway party, but my friend's getaway dinner, because he's going back to military training. So I remember bringing my car. I remember I brought it to work, got off, I went straight to their house, and right when I got to their house, my boy Jeff asked me. He was like, hey, can I ride with you? So I said, okay, go ahead. And then so I turned off the car, waited for him, and then when he got the car, I started the car. And then when I started the car, it started making ticking sound again. This time it's continuous. It won't stop at all, even after 5 minutes. It's really small ticking sound, but you could hear it. So he said he got into the car, and then he asked me, he's like, hey, is that normal? And I said, yeah, that's normal. It's just my hydraulic lifters. So we drove, and then we were going downhill, and then there's a signal light, and then right at the signal light, put it in neutral, and I'm hearing it's getting louder and louder. Put it to first. I drove it, and then it's just like it cut one of the cylinder, or like it literally like cut like maybe 2 or 3 cylinders. You really felt the jerk. It felt like a downshift or it didn't have power. But so put it first, and then boom, it happened, and then it's just making like a knock sound. So I said, "Fuck, I had a rod knock." So it was just like continuous sound, like tack 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 tack. And then me and Jeff look at each other, and they're like, "Fuck." I think it's, and then me in my mind, I was like, "Nah, this can't be a rod knock." So I keep driving, and as soon as like hop on the freeway, it's just like that, like literally like no power, and then it was just rod knock, like no matter what, it's like tack 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 tack. It gets louder and louder and louder. So I had to pull over. So I was like, "Fuck!" I'm telling my friend, "Nah, it can't be a rod knock. It's just my hydraulic lifter. So don't worry about it." So in my mind, I was like, "Okay, it's not a rod knock." So what was weird was that when I parked the car, while we were waiting for the tow truck, I started the car. The knock sound, it's just like it's making a beat. So I was like, that can be a rod knock. So like you hear it goes like tack 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 tack. It's not constant. So I was like, okay, that can be rod knock. So I was like, okay, my hydraulic lifter for sure. Order hydraulic lifters. Brought in the garage. Tried to replace all the hydraulic lifters. Started the car, and now it's like after I replace the hydraulic lifters, it's still making that knocking sound. So I was like, oh my god, this can be a rod knock. And then another problem was that it sounded like it had cams. So I was like, fuck, I have another problem. And then I tried to check the oil from the valve covers. Guess what? There's no oil coming out, so I shut it off right away. Checked the oil. I was like, fuck, there's no oil going up. And I checked. I found that I fucked up my oil pump. Car's misfiring. It's like dead cylinders. Knocking sound, and I don't have oil pressure. So I was like, fuck me. Like really, fuck me. So I had to buy another brand new oil pump. So I was like, okay, replace the oil pump. I said, okay, let's try it again. Replace the oil pump, start the car, still knocking sound. Oil, there's oil now, still knocking sound, still misfiring. I said, fuck, what's going on? So, basic engine troubleshooting, do compression tests. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're all 175. Perfect. Number 6, boom, 0. I had dead cylinder. Number 6. Said, okay, cool. I did another test. I did a leak down test. Found out, 1, 2, and 6 are leaking. So I was like, alright, cool. Now I gotta do a teardown. So I did a teardown. Couldn't find anything. Nothing at all. I did the water tests on the valves, water leak tests on the valves, no leaks at all. So I was like, fuck, what's going on? So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just put the cams and then send it to a machine shop so they could check it properly. So as soon as I was putting the cams, put the intake, soon I was putting the exhaust, I was tightening it inside and out, like slowly, because you want to even pressure. So I was doing 5, and then I was doing 4, and then I was doing 6, and right when I get to 3, I heard snap. I was like, what the hell was that? So I tightened all of them, and then as I was trying to spin the exhaust, only the quarter portion of the exhaust was spinning. So let me show you guys a picture. This is what happened. So the exhaust camshaft snapped. You know, I was like, okay, so maybe that's why my car is missed, or like it's probably why cylinder number 6 is dead, and it's probably, you know, my knock problem. It's probably just hitting the valves, you know, not properly top dead center, so it's hitting the valves. Alright, cool. You know, I ordered used cams from eBay, send ahead to the machine shop just for them to check it, and they couldn't find anything. But the one thing that they found though was that on my cylinder head, on cylinder number 6, which that was a cylinder that didn't have pressure or PSI, it was a dead cylinder. Found out that the cylinder head has a piston mark. And I was like, what do you mean this piston mark? He was saying that, oh, you know, it might be your wrist pins, or your cylinder number 6 wrist pin is already loose and so much played that it's just hitting the cylinder head. That's probably what's making your. And then he asked me, he's like, oh, is your car making ticking sound or a knock sound? I say, yeah. Well, that's probably it. So in my mind, I was like, I tried to check it. I asked him, I said, is there gonna be a mark in the piston if ever? He's like, yeah, there should be a mark. I checked the piston number 6. I was like, I didn't see any mark. So I was like, fuck it, you know, it's probably nothing. So, and then at that point I saw, and then before I installed, I rechecked it again, and then asked my coworkers like, hey, can you guys check this? He was saying blah blah blah, received mark, and then they saw there's a mark. So I was like, fuck. And then I was like, you know what? At this point, it's either I'm gonna full send or no send. So I told myself, I said, if this works, I'll keep the car, I'll keep the motor. If it doesn't work, I'll sell it. I'm done with this. Like, I spent too much time, I spent so much money, and I couldn't even drive the car. I'm not having fun anymore. Like, most of the time the car is in the shop or in my garage and I'm fixing it. And this whole shebang, whatever happened, it was all my fault in the first place when I installed that sandwich plate. So after that, put the cylinder head, and then guess what? Boom, still the same thing. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it, throw in the towel. Throw in the towel, because I said I give up. I can't do this anymore. Even though I know what's wrong with it, I just don't want to spend time fixing it or like replacing it. I have money for it, but I've given so much effort that I'm not having fun anymore. So at that point I was like, you know what, fuck it. So I sold the car, I sold the motor, and initially I was planning to sell the car as well, but looking at the market, it's really hard to get a 240 now, and they're all clapped. Bars here, and you know, every 240 is clapped, so I was like, okay, might as well keep it in, I don't know, put SR or whatever. But I was like, you know what, I'm just put stock A here for now, save money until I get money for SR. So yeah, I have a stock KA here that is going in here, and sadly we're going back to stock. So it's a bummer, but you know what? You live and learn. So you live and learn. So I learned a lot doing that swap. So it's sad, but whatever. So yeah, that's what happened to the RB, and I hope you guys are not disappointed. I know most of my friends and like some other people I know, they're like, damn, really, you have to sell it. So some of them are really sad, but you know what, it doesn't stop me from making or doing project. So it's just basically a lesson for me. Yeah, so I hope you guys are not disappointed. So for you guys that are watching this, hopefully you guys keep supporting me, even though we're gonna go back to stock. It's sad, but it's the way it is, so whatever. So I'm still gonna post a lot more on the Forester, and maybe some 240k vlog. Whatever. But yeah, so that's what happened to the RB. And again, if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Try and support your boy. And yeah, there's more to come. We're gonna do swap in my garage. For sure gonna record that, because it's gonna be my first ever swap in a garage. When I did my swap, I did it in the shop. So first swap is gonna be in the garage. First swap in the garage, putting back the stock KA. Oh, it's gonna be a good title. Anyway, hope you guys like this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you guys are not subscribed yet, make sure to hit that subscribe. Keep supporting your boy, baby. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.